Wanted to come on very quickly and talk a little bit about the movie called Leave the World Behind. I think a lot of people are talking about it, giving their perspective. I just made sure I didn't see anyone's video about it because I don't want anyone's perspective. I just want to speak um, directly based on what I thought about the movie. My first thought is that the movie is a fantastic watch for every family in America, every family anywhere, really. And that's specifically because of the dialogue that can be sparked from the concepts presented in the movie. If you are someone who is looking for some sort of feel good, happy movie, don't even bother. I actually talked with some coworkers earlier today about it. And I was kind of shocked that one of them said, "Oh, I like Julia Roberts, but I don't really like Ethan Hawke much." And I'm just like, really, is that what you took away from this? I don't care anything about the actors. I don't even care anything about the characters in the movie. I didn't like any of their asses, honestly. They all got on my nerves. I think a lot of them were stupid. But the point of the movie is to, in my opinion, it's great for discussion. This movie is going to help expose some of your areas of weakness. As a prepper, I found this movie an exciting watch because, well, we really didn't even watch it all the way through. We were pausing it and talking through things just to discuss what we would do in certain scenarios. And I'm sure we're going to watch it again, but this time we'll watch it with the kids. And well, the 1 year old, he's too young to understand what's going on. Today's his birthday, by the way. But the 11-year old, I'm pretty sure she's going to pass with flying colors every single scenario, what she should do, what we should do. She's going to know exactly what we should be doing in each of those scenarios because we talk to her all the time. She's very close to the process. So one thing that really bothered me in the movie was just the some of the characters were very aloof, okay? But that is a reflection, honestly, of how a lot of people are in this country. Even with all of the things that are happening, a lot of people still are clueless. In a nutshell, the things that I really like about the movie is that it is a conversation piece. It is a perfect movie to talk about your level of preparedness. It helps you to understand where, or to think about where you are and where you may need to improve. So one thing that really annoyed me in the movie was how unprepared certain folks were and how entitled certain folks were. There was a scenario, and I'm sorry, this may be a bit of a spoiler alert. I won't say too much, but there was a point in the movie where some gentlemen pulled a gun on another gentleman on his property, demanding that he help them with a specific situation. Now, if this were real life, if it was me and my husband, I promise you, the moment somebody pulls a gun on us, they're gone. Okay, it ain't gonna be no other discussion like you gone. You're not gonna threaten our lives on our property and live to get away, like to get away with it. It's not gonna happen. So, the level of uh, unpreparedness and entitlement is a reflection of what's to come. And I think that every prepper, every person who is serious about their own life, who is serious about being prepared for difficult times, just be ready when these entitled folk, when these unprepared folk decide to try you, okay? Because it will happen, and you need to be prepared to meet them where they are and protect yourself and your family. Another thing that bothered me was, and if you're watching this with your children, this is specifically a conversation that you need to have with them. There's a point in the movie where the youngest character wanders away from the family. Now, this little girl, she got on my nerves, honestly, but this is a horrible thing to do. Tell your kids they should not be wandering away from you unless they have specifically been instructed to do so. Or, obviously, if everyone's dead, then they're going to have to fend for themselves. But there is no reason why your child should be roaming away from you in an emergency situation like this. I don't know what was wrong with that little girl, but this is a very important conversation to have if you are going to watch this with the kid. Even if you're not going to watch it with the kids, still, you know, involve them in a conversation about what they should do should an emergency arise. There is some content in the movie that is of adult nature. It's not really heavy on it, so it is a movie that I would say you can watch it with the kids and just, you know, have them turn their head or just skip that scene. It's not really heavy on that inappropriate stuff, so that's a good thing. But like I said, this movie is a great movie to spark dialogue, to help you also examine where you are and what you would do in those situations. For us, I would say we definitely we need to really beef up our medical supplies. Antibiotics, that's something that is very important to have in your prepping, in your preps. Like, just, you should have these things because you never know what can happen, and that movie really highlights the necessity. And also, aside from all of that, I just really, on a personal level, I feel like it was very strange that a former president was involved in the making of this film. Just kind of weird. There were some other things that happened in the movie that I felt were just borderline like propaganda. Like, what, I know it's just a movie, but you know, some people really don't know how to think for themselves, and the fact that this movie is perfectly packaged for the masses, easily digestible for the masses, it's just, I really don't like how certain things were pushed in the movie. Like I said, it's a great conversation piece. I would recommend it. And, you know, if you are looking for entertainment, it can be that, but more importantly, beyond an entertainment piece, it's a piece that will help spark discussion and hopefully motivate you to really get prepared for what's coming. We don't know what it is, but all we know is that there are a lot of systems that are in the process of collapsing at this time. The threat of cyber attacks is at an all-time high, apparently. This is what they're saying. One takeaway is that I know that they always tell you what they do before they do it. And I think that the fact that a former president was involved in the making of this film is going to bring a level of attention to this film that otherwise may not have even been possible. I think some people are just simply going to watch it because his name is attached. And I think that's what bothers me the most, because I feel like that's intentional. They tell you what they do before they do it. So I would just say be vigilant. Make sure that you can access what you need when you need it. Please work on a way to become a little bit less dependent on your phone. I mean, if you're going to your phone all the time for recipes, you may want to write it down. You may want to have some physical copies of just statements, things to prove that, hey, you only owe $80,000 on your mortgage. You know, like when systems come back up, if they come back up, if there is some sort of attack, you want to be able to prove that these are the balances that you have in your accounts. You want to be able to have something physical. I mean, there's so much to it, but of course we'll get into it in another video. But leave a comment below. I want to know, have you watched this movie? What do you think? Do you feel worried? Did it motivate you to do more? I just want to leave you with this. No one is coming to save you, but you absolutely have the power to save yourself. I'll see you on the next one.